Hello there, my name is ShadowX and today I'm doing What If May Adopted Naruto Part 3. Just want to say thank you guys for almost 600 subscribers, and it's only been about a month and a half since I started. I can't explain how much it means to me to have you guys, supporting me. Just want to say you guys are the best. So, let's get this started. So, roll the intro. When May told both Naruto and Suigetsu that she's going to make them both jonin, Naruto says, "I can't believe it. It's time to find Samehada." Then May says, "Boys, be careful." Then Naruto says, "Once we have you back in the mist, we will head out to find that blade." Then Suigetsu said, "Naruto, two girls are here and then they want to talk with you." Then Naruto turns around and sees Anko and Hinata. Then Naruto says, "Hey girls, how have you been?" Then Anko says, "Well, I've been torturing a lot of people." Then Hinata says, "Naruto-kun, I've been training with my father to become strong like you." Then Naruto says, "I'm sorry about killing your cousin, but I do not tolerate people who try to kill their own family." Then Hinata says, "It's okay. Thanks to you, the whole Hyuga clan have changed their opinions about destiny." Then Anko says, "Let's do something fun." At this moment, a kunai is thrown at Naruto, but then Naruto catches the kunai between his fingers and body flickers and arrives behind a white-haired man. The Naruto says, "Old man, don't mess with me, otherwise your head will be on the floor." Then the old man says, "Naruto Uzumaki, I am Jiraiya the Toad Sage." The Naruto says, "Why would I care?" Then May says, "Naruto, that is your godfather." This makes Naruto happy but also very mad at the same time. The Naruto activates his Kurama eyes and says, no. Then Naruto grabbed his katana and was about to kill Jiraiya. Then Naruto said, "Why weren't you here for me when I was living in this village? Those 2 years were complete hell. However, when I was saved by my aunt, my life became nice for once. And now I'm part of the seven ninjas of the mist." After Naruto tells Jiraiya that he's one of the seven swordsmen of the mist, Jiraiya says, "Don't be stupid, boy. There's no way you could be a swordsman of the mist." Then Naruto grabs his needle blade and says, "It's pointed at one of your vital points, and if I go any further into your body, you will die." Then Jiraiya can feel a cold steel object pointing at his spinal cord. Then Naruto says, "Don't mess with me, old man. Do not laugh at what it took me years to accomplish." Then Jiraiya says, "Okay, stop now." Naruto says, "Why should I?" Then May says, "Naruto, please calm down. He only wants to talk." Then Naruto says, "Okay, we can talk somewhere, but not here." Then Naruto puts his hand on Jiraiya's shoulder. Then they enter his mindscape. Then Naruto says, "Kurama, we have a visitor." Then Jiraiya says, "Wait, that's the nine-tailed fox." Then Naruto says, "He is not the nine-tailed fox. His name is Kurama." Then Naruto also says, "Kurama, I believe it's time for a new change in scenery." So Naruto clicks his fingers. Then greenlands, forests and rivers and a valley appear. And Jiraiya says, "Wait, how can you do this?" Then Naruto says, "It's simple. You can master a tail beast with chakra control. If you make, you can master them with power. If you make friends with them, you can change their environment." Then Jiraiya says, "Wait, aren't they just beasts for people to control?" Naruto gets angry and grabs his katana and is about to use a quick slash to kill Jiraiya. Then Kurama says, "Naruto, it is not worth it." Then Naruto says, "You're right, Kurama." Then Naruto says to Jiraiya, "I have two goals: to achieve world peace and making sure that everyone understands the tail beast and they can call them by their name, just like I understand Kurama here and I know him by that name. And my second goal, should I say my target, is Kisame Hoshigaki, the wielder of Samehada, the blade that is meant for me." Then Jiraiya says, "That might be a bit challenging, boy." Kisame Hoshigaki, is part of the Akatsuki, a group that are going after the Jinchuriki and sealing them away. Naruto gets angry and says, Kurama, I will not let that happen to you. Naruto and Jiraiya spend 25 minutes talking to each other in the mindscape. Then they exit. Then Naruto says, I understand, Godfather. Thank you for talking to me. Then May says, are you both alright now? Then Naruto says, of course. I'm gonna go. Well, after Naruto says he's about to go, Hinata rushes over and gives him a hug. Then she faints. Then Naruto says, Anko, why has she fainted? Anko says, well, she's incredibly shy, but she does love you as well. Then Naruto says, Anko, what are your feelings about me? Then Anko says, well, you saved my life. You destroyed that curse mark that Orochimaru put on me. You killed Orochimaru, and you defeated the Shukaku. Then Naruto says, well, that's true. Then Naruto goes up to both. But Naruto gets Anko to come over to where he is and hugs both of them. And Jiraiya says, wait. Then Jiraiya is shocked that Naruto has two girls. Then says, wait, Anko, aren't you 23 and a jonin? And Anko says, well, we had a bet. He won by defeating me. And yeah, I kind of fell in love with him. This makes Naruto smile. Then Naruto kisses Anko on the forehead and he does that to Hinata. Then Naruto says, I'm just going to quickly take this one to the hospital, but I'll be back in 10 minutes. Naruto body flickers to the hospital and says to the nurse, well, she fainted when she blushed, so please do something about that. Then Naruto body flickers back to where Anko was and said, oh, sorry, yeah, that took less than 10 minutes. Let's go hunting. Then Anko agreed. They spend 4 hours spending time with each other and hunting. Then Anko says to him, you're a much better hunter now, so come here. So Naruto goes over to Anko, then Anko kisses him. And Naruto says, well, you're a bit more brave now, aren't you? They spend another hour together. Then Naruto says, I think it's time for me to go back to the hospital to see Hinata. Then Naruto body flickers out the hospital, and on his way, he sees Jiraiya and Hyuga talking to each other. Then Naruto says, Jiraiya, and, well, what should I say, Godfather. And Jiraiya looks up and says, oh, Naruto. Naruto walks over to where they both are. Naruto kneels down and says, I'm so sorry for my actions, Hiyashi. I did what I thought needed to be done. Then Hiyashi says, Naruto, thanks to you, my daughter Hinata is alive, and you changed the whole view on destiny from the Hyuga clan. Then Naruto says, I was only doing my job. Then Hiyashi says, all I can say is thank you so much. You saved my precious daughter's life. Then Naruto says, alright, if this is all, I shall be going now. See you later, Hiyashi. See you later, Godfather. Then Naruto leaves. Then Jiraiya says, what was all that about? Then Hiyashi says to Jiraiya, well, during the preliminary round of the tuning exams, my nephew, Neji, was beating Hinata in their match. And, well, he took it too far and was trying to kill Hinata, but Naruto stepped in and stopped it. And then Naruto and Neji, in the final round of the tuning exams, were paired up to each other. And then Neji was infuriating Naruto by saying that after this match he was going to kill Hinata. Naruto couldn't take it anymore, so he, well, sliced Neji in half. Then Jiraiya says, I'm sorry to hear that, but sounds like Neji got what he deserved. Then Jiraiya also said, well, to be honest, he is one of the most powerful seven swordsmen of the mist. Then Hiyashi said, wait, he's part of that. He's part of the seven swordsmen of the mist. Then Jiraiya said, yes, he is. He could have killed me earlier if he wanted to. When I first met Naruto, I threw a kunai at him just to let him know where I was, and I didn't expect him to, well, use the body flicker. And then he told me he was a member of the Seven Swordsmen list, which I thought he was joking. I said, there's no way a kid like you could be a member. And then without me knowing, he grabbed one of the seven swords, the needle sword, and held it against my spinal cord. And if he wanted to, he could have killed me right then and there. Then he actually said, well, wow, that's impressive. I didn't even think he could kill. I know he killed Orochimaru, but he could have killed you in an instant, and he wasn't even using the Nine Tails power. Bloody hell. And Jiraiya said, well, he also did defeat Shukaku, the One Tails. Then he actually said, well, I know. There's something I want, because you're his godfather, there's something I want to talk to you about. I was thinking of Well, I was thinking about Hinata likes Naruto quite a lot, and I think Naruto likes her as well. So I was thinking about getting an arranged marriage between Naruto and Hinata. So that would also create an alliance. Well, that would strengthen the alliance between the Leaf and the Mist. Then Jiraiya said, "I think that's a good idea." Cutting back to Naruto's perspective, he's just arrived at the hospital, and then he goes to Hinata's room to find her training. Then Naruto says, "Well, Hinata, you should be in bed. But if you're up, if you're already up, I think I should take you somewhere. It's my father's resting place. I want you to actually know who I really am." The Naruto picks up Hinata and opens a window and jumps out, going across all of the building tops. Then he infuses chakra into his feet and jumps as high as he can, landing on the fourth Hokage's monument. Then Naruto says, "Well, we're here. We're at my father's resting place." Then Hinata says, "Wait, this is the fourth's resting place?" And Naruto says, "Yes. My father was Minato Namikaze, the yellow flash of the leaf, and the fourth Hokage. And my mother was Kushina Uzumaki. When the Nine Tails attacked, my father used the Reaper Death Seal, sealing the Nine Tails fox inside of me. But now I know his name. His name is Kurama, and he is a very kind tail beast. In fact, I get along with him quite well. I think I should show you. I think it's a good time for me to show you him." Naruto touches Hinata's shoulder, adds a bit of his chakra into her, and then enters his mindscape. Then Naruto says, "Kurama, I know you're probably in the valley, but please show yourself." So Kurama jumps out of the valley and arrives at the gate. Then Naruto says, "Kurama, this is Hinata Hyuga. Her cousin was the one I killed in the tuning exams." Then Kurama says, "Boy, you have feelings for her, don't you?" Then Naruto says, "Yes, I do." Kurama, "It's very important for me that you like her." Then Kurama says, "Well, she is a Hyuga, and not a Uchiha. I can't stand the Sharingan, but I do like the Byakugan. Their visual capabilities are like my own." Then Naruto says, "Oh, so like these eyes then." Then Naruto activates his Kurama eyes. Then Hinata says, "Wait, is that a dojutsu?" Then Naruto says, "Well, not really. Because Kurama is sealed within me, and, well, how should I say? Each tail beast has their own unique ability. Let's give me the Eight Tails has control over ink, and it gives its Jinchuriki and ink Keke Genkai. The Four Tails, it gives its Jinchuriki a lava-based Keke Genkai. But Kurama doesn't give its own. Well, Kurama's power is more of a sensory ninjutsu, very close to your Byakugan, but it's a lot more powerful." Then I said, "With my eyes, I can see 50 kilometers around me, and I can see the chakra network, and I can tell if someone's lying, their heartbeat, anything. It is probably the most powerful sensory eyes." And Hinata says, "Well, wow, that's amazing. Can you train me?" Then I said, "Of course I will. But I want to tell you something first. Do you know of something called the Clan Restoration Act?" Then Hinata says, "Yes, I do." And I says, "Well, I am a part of it. I'm a part of the CRA for the Uzumaki clan and the Namikaze clan." And Hinata says, "Well, I knew you were already a part of it because I asked the Lady Mizukage about you, and she said you were a part of it." Flashback 3 months ago in the mist. Lady Mizukage called Naruto into her office and said, "Naruto, I want you to join the CRA for the Uzumaki and Namikaze clan, because they are both almost extinct." And Naruto says, "Of course I will, Lady Mizukage, but what is the CRA?" Then it may say, "It's the Clan Restoration Act. Basically, you can have as many wives as you want and have many children." Before May could say anything about the children, Naruto immediately signed on when May said about having many wives. Naruto thought to himself, "Oh, I can have a harem." End of flashback. Nina says, I'm willing to, I'm able to accept that you're in the CRA, and I know you'll have multiple wives." And Naruto, "I want you to know that I love you." Naruto smiles and says, "I love you too, Hinata." Naruto hugs Hinata in his mindscape, and they exit the mindscape. But before that, Naruto says, "Kurama, I will probably need your power soon. So, tomorrow, I'm gonna need full control." Then Kurama says, "Of course, Naruto." Then Kurama heads back to the valley. Once they exit the mindscape, now it's already midnight. And Naruto says, "Wow, that took quite a long time. Then they just lied on top of the Hokage monument, staring at the stars. And Naruto says, "I think it's a good idea if I take you back to the Kyoto compound." On their way to the compound, they're just talking. But once they arrive, Hinata sees Hiyashi at the gate, and she says, "I'm sorry, father, that I'm late." Then Hiyashi sees Naruto with her and says, "Oh, that's okay. I wanted to talk to Naruto anyway." Then Naruto says, "Hiyashi, what do you want to talk about?" Then Hiyashi says, "I think it's best if you come inside the house." Once everyone's sat down, Naruto meets Hinata's mother, then and her little sister. Then Hiyashi says, "Naruto, I want you to marry Hinata. Well, I know she likes you, and you like her, but it also will strengthen the alliance between the leaf and the mist." Then Naruto says, "I was planning on marrying your daughter anyway, when I turned 17, but it won't be my only wife." Then Hiyashi is confused by that and says, "Your only wife?" Then Hinata says, "Father, he's part of the CRA for the Uzumaki clan and Namikaze clan." Then Hiyashi says, "Wait, Namikaze?" Then Naruto says, "Yes. You know my father, well, deceased father. His name was Minato Namikaze, 4th Hokage. I believe you fought together in the 3rd Great Ninja War." Then Hiyashi said, "Your father, I can't believe you're the 4th father. He was an amazing man. I'm sure he's proud of you." Then Naruto says, "Of course, I met him, thanks to the Ninetales. Well, as I say, Kurama." Then Hiyashi says, "Naruto, I'm grateful for you I'm grateful that you're with Hinata." Then Naruto says, "Hiyashi, tomorrow at 1 p.m. I want you to meet with Lady Mizukage, my aunt, at the hotel to discuss, well, the alliance and the political marriage." Then Naruto says, "I'm gonna head out now," and kisses Hinata on the forehead. On the way out of the Hyuga compound, once Naruto exits the gates, a kunai is thrown at Naruto, but Naruto simply catches it and says, "Suigetsu, bro, why?" And Suigetsu says, "Well, I'm just testing your reflexes." Then Naruto says, "Testing my reflexes, eh? How about I test yours?" Then Naruto uses the body flicker, enhanced with his own chakra, appearing at lightning speed behind Suigetsu with a kunai to his neck. Then Naruto says, "I know this won't work on you." But then Suigetsu starts to sweat and says, "Wait, I didn't even see you." Then Naruto says, "Well, your reflexes need work." Then Naruto says, How's that little girl you were talking to? What was her name? Oh yeah, Tenten." Flashback to just after the tuning exams. Tenten is still in grief that her teammate died, but she knows the reason he died, and is happy that he's happy that Hinata is still alive. She's just walking through the village when she sees the Kiribocho. Then says, "Wait, that's a member of the 7 Swordsmen of the Mist." And she rushes up to Suigetsu and says, "Are you a member of the Swordsmen of the Mist? And is that Kiribocho?" And Suigetsu says, "Yes, it is, and I am. I'm just I'm about to be a member. I'm just waiting for my partner Naruto to find his sword, the Samahada." Then Tenten says, "Why are you walking around? Are you looking for a training field?" And Suigetsu says, "Yes, I'm looking for training field 48. Then Tenten says, that's the training ground I use. I'll take you there." Then Suigetsu said, "How did you know about the Kiribocho?" Then Tenten says, "Well, I'm a weapons nerd, and I really like swords, and I want to collect all the swords." Then Suigetsu said, "Well, that's impossible. They're the Mist's weapons, but I can let you face off against it." Then Tenten says, "Like a match, a spar." Then Suigetsu says, "Yeah, I want to fight you." Once they arrive at the training field, Suigetsu is thinking to himself that this girl's quite cute, but also a bit sad. But then Suigetsu said, "Why are you sad? You should be happy." Then Tenten said, "Well, your partner killed my teammate, Neji Hyuga." Then Suigetsu said, "Well, there's some things in this world Naruto does not stand for, as I guess you found out one of, and that is someone talking and intending to kill their own family. You see, Naruto was originally part of this village, and everyone hated him. They made his life a living hell for 2 years, because Naruto never had a mother or father. They died when Kurama attacked." Then Tenten said, "Kurama." And Suigetsu said, "Well, that's the name of the nine-tailed fox. Naruto is the Jinchuriki." Then Tenten's memory is just rushing back and thinking, "Wait, oh my god, that's that blonde boy. Oh wow." And Suigetsu said, "Well, stop worrying about the past. That's all happened. I'm sure Neji is in a better place. Now he cannot harm anyone in his family. And Tenten said, of course, let's fight. So Tenten grabs a massive scroll and unleashes all of her blades. Then Suigetsu says, is that all? Suigetsu just holds up the Kiribocho and says, that's not going to work. 90% of the blades were blocked by Kiribocho, but another 10% went straight through Suigetsu like water. Then Suigetsu said, normal attacks won't work on me. You would have to use ninjutsu. Then Tenten says, why won't they? Then Suigetsu puts down the Kiribocho and grabs one of the katanas that were fired from Tenten. As he picks it up, he slashes his arm off, and his arm just turns into water. Then Suigetsu said, well, it's part of, this is my clan's Keka Genkai, the ability to turn into water. So Kenjutsu attacks will not work on me, or will Taijutsu. Tenten is really intrigued by Suigetsu, so they spend 3 days with each other before Naruto and Suigetsu have to leave. In these 3 days, Tenten has formed quite an emotional connection to Suigetsu, and Suigetsu has started to feel attraction to Tenten. And a flashback. Suigetsu says, well, she's alright. I'm glad I was able to see her. Naruto says, that's good. I need to talk to you about something. Then Naruto says, it's important. Please come with me. So they run to a forest outside the leaf. Then when Naruto was sure no one was around, Naruto says, I've just been offered a marriage proposal by the Hyuga clan, the Hinata Hyuga. Then Suigetsu says, isn't that one of your girls? Then Naruto says, yes, it is. She's really cute and everything. But Hiyashi was talking about that increasing the Leaf's alliance with the Mist, and I was happy for that. But still, I'm young. I know I'm a Jonin, but still, marriage. Then Naruto also said, well, I've managed to delay it until I'm 17. Then Suigetsu said, well, I'm glad for you, Naruto. Then Naruto said, to be honest, you know I'm in the CRA. And Suigetsu said, yeah. Then Naruto said, I'm hoping to get about 7 or 8 wives. And Suigetsu said, bloody hell, Naruto. Naruto says, well, I'm working on the second at the moment. Okay, I've just got to get... Well, I found out that she loves me, so I just got to get her to agree to marry me when I turn 17. That's not that hard, will it be? But at that moment, a bead of sweat drops down Naruto, and Naruto says, he's here. Kisame is here. Then Suigetsu says, wait, really? Then Suigetsu grabs the Kiribocho and says, Naruto, let's go. And Naruto grabs the needle sword. They're both rushing as fast as they can to where Naruto felt Kisame's chakra, and 30 seconds later they arrive, but Naruto sees a black cloak with red clouds. Then Naruto says, Master Kisame, it's been too long. Then Kisame said, oh, Suigetsu and Naruto. Huh, it has been a long time, boys. And I'm guessing you're here to kill me because of Samehada. Naruto says, of course. Then Kisame said, well, Naruto, I'm here to capture you, considering you are the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. Then Naruto says, his name is Kurama, and enters his One-Tails cloak, and grabs the needle blade, and throws it at Kisame. But Kisame just simply blocks with Samehada. Naruto said, I'm glad you did that. Then Naruto infuses the Nine-Tails chakra into the needle sword. So Samehada is absorbing it, that cutting into Kisame's perspective. His hand is just stabbed with hundreds of scales, and Kisame says, you damn brat, you're smarter than I gave you credit for. Then Kisame drops Samehada, but Naruto goes to grab it, but fails because of Kisame's partner trying to kill Naruto. Then Naruto says, Sharingan, hey? That won't work on me. Then Naruto activates his Kurama's eyes. It says, if you want proper power, my eyes have it. And Kisame says, Itachi, this is not your fight, this is mine. Then he goes to grab Samehada again, but he can't. Samehada is not allowing him. So Suigetsu goes to cut Kisame. Then Naruto says, Suigetsu, deal with that one, but don't let him get you in a Genjutsu with a Sharingan. So stare at it. So don't look at him. Well, don't look his eyes, look at his feet. I've taught you enough to be able, so you could fight against the Sharingan, right? Then Kisame says, of course, Naruto. Cutting back to Naruto and Kisame, Naruto is rushing to grab the Samehada, and as he does, he grabs the needle blade as well, and throws it directly through Kisame. Then Naruto says, I've got you now. Then Naruto grabs Naruto increases his grip on the thread coming from the needle blade and pulls it pulls the thread behind him. So Kisame is flying towards Naruto. Naruto twists his hand 24 degrees and slashes, but not with the sword, not with Samehada, but with a thread. And Kisame is tied up to a tree behind himself. Then Naruto says, "It's time for you to die, Kisame." Then Naruto grabs Samehada and is slashing it. Kisame absorbing his chakra. Then Naruto says, "Secret technique, Death Blade." So Naruto drops both the well, he drops both. He drops both the needle blade and Samehada, grabs his katana off his waist and he goes to slice Kisame's head off. But Naruto just sees a murder of crows, and Naruto says, "Wait, what?" Then Naruto says, "Suigetsu, where's Itachi?" Then Suigetsu says, "I don't know, he just disappeared." And then Naruto says, "Shit, Kisame's gone as well. God damn it, Suigetsu. I know you did your best, but damn it." Well, we have Samehada now, so let's go back to Lady Mizukage. I'm sure she would like to know that we fought Kisame to a standstill. Once they arrive at the hotel, it's 1:30 in the morning, and once Naruto opens the door, he says, "Lady Mizukage, I found it." And then Mei says, "Wait, what? He was here?" Then Naruto says, "Yes, I damaged him heavily, and we fought off to a standstill. His partner, Itachi Uchiha, Kisame fought him, and he was able to hold him in place for about 10 seconds. But we need to get stronger, because their group, the Akatsuki, are coming after the Jinchuriki, and I will not allow that." Then Mei says, "Naruto, I know." Then Naruto says, "There's someone going to come here to see you about 1 p.m. tomorrow, about a political marriage." Then Mei says, "Alright, Naruto, go to bed." The next day, Naruto grabs Samehada, puts it on his back, then goes over to Suigetsu and says, I think it's a good time for me and you to have some training together. So let's go to that training ground where you met Tenten." Then Suigetsu says, "Alright, do you want me to bring her as well?" Then Naruto says, "Yeah, I'll bring my two. I'll bring the two girls. You bring Tenten." 20 minutes later, Naruto, Anko, and Hinata arrive at the training ground where Suigetsu and Tenten are. Then Naruto says, "Suigetsu, I believe it's time to show them our true power." And Suigetsu says, "Wait, are you going to use Kuruma's?" I said, "No, I'm only going to use mine. We dealt with a massive threat last night, a threat from the leaf and a threat from the mist. So, let's get stronger." Then Uncle says, "Wait, from the leaf?" And then Naruto says, "We fought off Itachi Uchiha and Kisame Hoshigaki. That's how I got my new sword." Alright, this is where I'm going to end off part 3 of What If Mei Adopted Naruto. Hope you guys liked it.